You are not here by accident. You are standing at a doorway. Behind you is the life you already know, the habits that shaped it, the excuses that protected it, the comfort that slowly weakened it. In front of you is the unknown, uncertain, uncomfortable, demanding, and your mind will tell you to stay where you are, because it is familiar. But familiarity is not freedom. Familiarity is a cage with soft walls. You say you have time. You say you will change tomorrow. You say when things are easier, when things are clearer, when you feel more ready. But readiness is a lie the mind creates to delay growth. Readiness is built through movement, not waiting. The water does not wait to become the river. The tree does not wait to grow roots. Change is not an event in the future. It is a decision in the present. You do not have a choice to stay the same, because even if you try, life will move. Your body will age. Opportunities will pass. People will change. Time will not wait for your indecision. So the only real choice you have is this: will you change consciously, or will you be changed by force? Look at your life closely. Look at your habits. Look at the patterns that keep repeating. The same reactions, the same fears, the same self-doubt. These are not random. These are the results of who you have been practicing to be every day. You are a product of your discipline or your lack of it. There is no middle ground. You cannot build a strong mind inside a weak body. You cannot build a focused life with a distracted mind. You cannot build peace while holding on to chaos. Change requires structure. Structure requires discipline. Discipline requires sacrifice. And sacrifice requires you to let go of the version of yourself that feels comfortable but is costing you everything. Most people are not afraid of hard work. They are afraid of who they must become to do the work. Because change means the death of an identity, the one who made excuses, the one who blamed others, the one who lived in potential instead of reality. That version must end, and the mind resists death even when that death is your rebirth. You want motivation, you want inspiration, but what you need is truth, and the truth is simple: no one is coming to save you. No perfect moment will arrive, no magical force will make it easier. The only power you have is the one you activate through action. When you wake up tomorrow, you will feel the same resistance. Your body will want rest. Your mind will want distraction. Your emotions will look for comfort. That is the moment that defines you. Not the easy days, not the motivated days, the hard mornings, the silent struggles, the days where no one is watching. That is where change is forged. Train your body even when it is tired. Train your mind even when it is noisy. Train your spirit even when it feels empty. Consistency is stronger than intensity. A small discipline practiced daily will reshape your entire life. Let go of the need for approval. Let go of the past that keeps calling your name. Let go of the future that creates anxiety. All power is in the present moment. And in this moment, you have only one task: to be better than you were one breath ago. This is not about becoming someone else. This is about removing everything that is not truly you. The fear, the doubt, the laziness, the weakness. When those layers fall, what remains is clarity, strength, purpose. You say you want peace, but peace is earned through war with the self. You say you want freedom, but freedom is earned through discipline. You say you want change, but change demands proof through action. So stand up, face yourself, and understand this clearly. You want to talk about change, about discipline, about becoming more than you are right now. But before any of that has meaning, you must face the first and most uncomfortable truth. Everything in your life, the state of it as it exists today, is your responsibility, not your parents, not your past, not your enemies, not society, not luck, not circumstances. You. This does not mean you caused every event. It means you are responsible for your response to every event, and your responses have shaped the road you are standing on. Most people do not like this idea. They prefer comfort over truth. They prefer a story where they are the victim, where life is unfair, where others are to blame. That story feels safer. It gives them an enemy outside themselves, so they do not have to confront the battle within. But listen carefully: the moment you blame, you give your power away. The moment you say, it's because of them, you place control into someone else's hands. And if someone else holds the control, how will you ever change the direction? Self-responsibility is not about guilt. It is not about punishment. It is about power. It is the moment you look in the mirror and say, "This is on me." When you do that, something shifts. Suddenly, you are no longer waiting for the world to be different. You are no longer waiting for permission. You are no longer waiting for the past to be fixed. You become the source. And when you become the source, you become dangerous in the best way. You become unstoppable. Look at your habits. The way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you speak, the way you avoid discomfort. These are not accidents. These are patterns you have accepted, repeated, and practiced. A musician becomes skilled by repetition. An athlete becomes strong by repetition. And a weak person becomes weaker the same way by repeating weakness. You have been training for the life you have right now, whether you knew it or not. Every excuse was a training session. Every delay was a practice rep. Every time you said tomorrow, you were building the person you are today. Now ask yourself, if your life is a result of your training, what have you been training for? This is not asked to shame you. It is asked to wake you up. Because if you created this through unconscious action, imagine what you could create through conscious action. That is self-responsibility. Not, "I am bad," but, "I am powerful, and I did not know how to use it. Now I will learn." You say you are tired. You say you don't feel motivated. You say you don't know where to start. But the truth is you do know. You know the phone is stealing your time. You know the late nights are destroying your mornings. You know the junk you feed your body is making your mind heavy. You know the people you keep around you are keeping you small. You already know. What you are really asking is not, "What should I do?" but, "Will I really do it?" That question is not answered with words. It is answered with action. Self-responsibility begins in silence, in the quiet moments, when there is no audience, no applause, no judgment from others, only you. That is where the real conversation happens. You sit with yourself, and you do not run, you do not distract, you do not escape, you listen, and what you will hear may not be pleasant. You will hear the truth of your laziness, the truth of your fear, the truth of your potential. That voice is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Most people are too busy trying to change the world around them. They want different people, different jobs, different cities, different luck. But the master turns inward first. Because you cannot control the wind, but you can control the way you set your sail. You cannot change the past, but you can change the meaning you give to it. You cannot choose every battle, but you can choose who you become in the fight. Responsibility is heavy. That is why most people drop it. It is much easier to point a finger than to look in the mirror. But strength is built under weight. The heavier the responsibility you can carry, the stronger you become. And at first, it will feel overwhelming. You will feel the urge to run back to comfort, back to blame, back to distraction. That is the old self fighting for survival. Let it fight. Do not argue. Do not negotiate. Just keep moving forward. You are not responsible for the moment you were broken, but you are responsible for the moment you choose to heal. You are not responsible for the wounds that were given to you, but you are responsible for not bleeding on those who did not cut you. You are not responsible for what you were taught as a child, but you are responsible for what you continue to teach yourself as an adult. This is maturity. This is strength. This is power. Stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" Stop saying, "They ruined my life," and start saying, "What part of me allowed this to continue?" These questions are uncomfortable. They are sharp. They cut deep. But in that pain, there is clarity. And in that clarity, there is direction. You cannot change from the same level of consciousness that created the problem. That level hides behind excuses and stories. You must rise above it. You must become the observer of your own behavior. Watch yourself get angry. Watch yourself avoid work. Watch yourself choose comfort. Do not judge. Just observe. Because observation is the first step of mastery. Then comes choice. In each small moment, there is a fork in the road. One path is familiar. One path is uncomfortable. The familiar path feels easy, but it leads to the same place. The uncomfortable path feels hard, but it leads to growth. Every moment you choose the uncomfortable path, you are taking responsibility. You are voting for your future self. You are saying, I am no longer controlled by impulse. I am guided by intention. No one is coming to do this for you. There is no external savior, no perfect system, no magic routine, only daily decisions. Snoring, repetitive, powerful. Drink water, move your body, sit and read, reflect, work, rest, repeat. This is not glamorous. It is sacred. And as you take more responsibility, you will notice something else. Your world will begin to change. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will appear. Respect will grow. Not because the world suddenly became kind, but because you became clear. And the world responds to clarity. You do not need a new personality. You do not need to become someone else. You need to remove the layers of irresponsibility that have been covering who you truly are. Beneath the excuses, beneath the fear, beneath the laziness, there is a disciplined, powerful, focused being. That is the real you. Self-responsibility is the key that unlocks that door. So take it. Take your life back into your own hands. Take ownership of your thoughts. Take ownership of your time. Take ownership of your direction. Stand in the center of your life and say, without drama, without ego, without anger, this is mine to change. Comfort is a quiet thief. It does not burst into your life with chaos. It moves slowly, gently, wrapping around your habits, your routines, your excuses. It whispers, rest a little more, start tomorrow. You deserve this break. It's been a long day. And because the voice is soft, because it feels kind, you listen, you obey. Each time you choose comfort, it feels like nothing. But comfort does not take everything at once. It takes a little piece of your strength, a little piece of your will, a little piece of your future, until one day you look in the mirror and do not recognize the person staring back. Discipline is different. Discipline does not speak kindly. Discipline is strict because it cares about your life more than your feelings in the moment. It says, get up, move, focus, finish. Discipline is not emotional. It is clear. It is direct. And most people run from it because discipline feels like pain at the beginning. What they do not realize is that comfort is pain that comes later and discipline is pain that saves you. You say you want change, but what you are really saying is you want a different result without a different process. You want the body without the training, the mind without the struggle, the success without the sacrifice. And this is the deep misstanding that keeps you trapped. There is no reward without resistance. There is no growth without pressure. A muscle does not grow in comfort. It grows by tearing, by resisting, by being pushed beyond what it is used to. And the same is true for your character. Every day, life gives you a simple choice, not a dramatic, life-changing decision. Just small, quiet moments. Do I wake up when the alarm rings or do I press snooze? Do I eat what is easy or what will nourish me? Do I scroll or do I study? Do I avoid the hard task or do I begin it? These moments seem small. They are not. They are forming you. They are teaching your mind and body what kind of person you are. And your mind listens very carefully to what you do, not to what you say. When you choose comfort, you are teaching yourself, I cannot handle difficulty. When you choose discipline, you are teaching yourself, I do what must be done. Over time, this becomes your identity. You stop asking for motivation. You stop waiting for the right mood. You simply act. And that is the beginning of power. Many people come to this point and say, but I don't feel motivated. Good. Motivation is unreliable. It is a guest that comes and goes whenever it pleases. Discipline is a loyal servant. It stays with you in the rain, in the cold, in the doubt, in the boredom. It does not care how you feel today. It only cares about who you are becoming tomorrow. And understand this: discipline is not harshness for the sake of suffering. Discipline is self-respect in action. It is the highest form of love for yourself. When you train your body, you are saying, I care about how long I will live and how well I will live. When you discipline your mind, you are saying, I care about the quality of my thoughts and the direction of my life. Comfort is the lowest form of love. It says, As long as I don't feel discomfort right now, everything is fine. But everything is not fine. It is slowly collapsing. Look at the people around you. The ones who are strongest, calmest, clearest. Do you think their lives are easy? Do you think they found a secret shortcut? No. They built a relationship with discomfort. They stopped seeing it as an enemy and started seeing it as a teacher. Every time they wanted to quit, they stayed. Every time they wanted to escape, they remained. Every time they wanted an easier way, they chose the harder path, and the harder path made them. Your mind will try to negotiate. It will say, just today you can skip it. It will say, you can be disciplined tomorrow. It will say, other people aren't doing it either. But discipline is not a group activity. This is between you and you. In the end, it will not matter what others did. It will only matter what you did when no one was watching. So start small, but start strong. Make a promise to yourself that is so simple you cannot fail. 5 push-ups, 10 minutes of reading, 1 page of writing, 1 honest conversation with yourself, and then keep that promise. Not because it is impressive, but because every promise kept to yourself rebuilds self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of discipline. Once you have built that foundation, you begin to add weight. More effort, more focus, more challenge. This is how you grow in a controlled way, the same way a warrior adds more weight to his training, the same way a mountain climber moves to higher peaks. Slowly, steadily, with respect for the process. You will fail sometimes. You will slip. You will choose comfort even when you know better. That does not make you weak. That makes you human. Do not attach shame to it. Shame is another form of comfort because it keeps you in the past. Instead, observe it, learn from it, return to the path. This is also discipline. There will be days when you feel empty, no energy, no passion, nothing. These are the most important days, because anyone can be disciplined when they feel strong. True discipline is revealed when you feel nothing and you still move. When you show up with no praise, no excitement, no visible reward. That is when you separate yourself from the many. Comfort will offer you stories. You deserve this. You have worked hard. This won't matter. Discipline will remain silent, waiting for you to remember who you decided to be. And in that silent space, you must choose your future over your present moment. Understand something else. Discipline does not mean a hard, dry, joyless life. It actually creates more freedom, more peace, more joy than comfort ever could. Because when your mind is disciplined, it is quieter. When your body is disciplined, it is stronger. When your actions are disciplined, your life becomes clear, and clarity is peace. A person ruled by comfort is constantly reacting. A person guided by discipline is directing. One is pulled by life, the other is leading it, and this is the true difference. This is why discipline is the path of power. So when the moment comes again, the moment between easy and hard, and between now and later, between comfort and discipline, do not ask what feels good. Ask what makes me stronger. Ask what kind of person this choice is creating. Then step into the discomfort without anger, without drama, without hesitation. That is the path. The past is a powerful illusion. It feels solid. It feels real. It feels like a place you can return to, like a shadow that follows you wherever you go. But the truth is, the past does not exist anywhere except in your mind. It is a collection of memories, emotions, and stories that you keep replaying. And every time you replay them, you give them life again. You give them power again. You give them control over the present moment. This is why detachment is not about forgetting what happened. It is about releasing what no longer has the right to define you. Most people carry their past like a heavy bag on their back. Inside are regrets, mistakes, betrayals, failures, pain, shame, and even old victories that they are afraid to move beyond. They say, "This is who I am." But it is not who you are. It is what happened to you. There is a difference. And that difference is the doorway to freedom. You cannot walk forward while looking backward. Even if the memory is beautiful, even if it was the best time of your life, if you cling to it, it becomes a chain. Time only moves in one direction. The river does not flow backward. The sun does not rise in yesterday's sky. Yet the mind insists on traveling where the body cannot go. It returns to old conversations, old relationships, old moments, both good and bad, and it builds a prison out of them. You say, I can't forget what they did to me. You say, I'll never get that time back. You say, things used to be better. And in every sentence, you are binding yourself to something that no longer exists. The past cannot hurt you on its own. The memory hurts you. The story you keep telling hurts you. The identity you built around it hurts you. That is all. Detachment does not mean pretending nothing happened. It means understanding that what happened has already finished. The event is complete. Only the echo remains. And you are the one who keeps echoing it inside your mind. There is a strange comfort in holding on to pain. It gives you an identity. It gives you a reason. It gives you a story to tell yourself and others about who you are and why your life is the way it is. But that comfort is poison, because as long as you hold on to the past, you are telling yourself, this is more powerful than me. And nothing should be more powerful than the present moment you are standing in right now. Let me be clear, your past does not define your limits. It only explains how you arrived here. And the moment you understand that, you take back your power. You realize that you are not a character trapped in a story that has already been written. You are the author, and every breath is a blank page. People say, time will heal. That is not true. Time does nothing by itself. You heal by how you use time. You heal by what you choose to release. You heal by what you decide to carry and what you decide to set down. If you carry the same memory for 20 years, it will weigh the same unless you choose to put it down. Detachment is not passive. It is an active, courageous act. Sometimes you do not want to let go because you think if you let go, you will lose a part of yourself. But you do not lose yourself when you detach. You find yourself. The one that has been buried under years of emotional weight, expectations, labels, and stories. You find the version of you that existed before the world told you who to be and before pain shaped your decisions. Think about how much energy you spend thinking about what happened, about what could have been, about what you should have said, about what they should have done. That energy is your life force, and you are throwing it into a hole that can never be filled. Imagine if you took even half of that energy and placed it into the present moment, into your body, into your mind, into your growth, into your work, into your discipline. You would not recognize yourself. Detachment is choosing the present over memory. It is choosing reality over imagination. It is choosing power over familiarity. The past seems familiar, even when it is painful. The future is unknown, and human beings are afraid of the unknown. So they hold on to what hurt them rather than step into what can free them. But you are not meant to live looking backward. You are meant to move forward, to evolve, to transform. Every version of you that has ever existed was created for that moment only. Even the version that made mistakes. Even the version that was weak. Even the version that was lost. He did his job. He brought you here. Now his time is over. And if you truly respect your past self, you will not drag him into a future he was never meant to see. You cannot become the new self while clinging to the old one. Something must be released for something greater to enter. Nature shows you this every day. Trees drop old leaves so new ones can grow. The snake sheds its skin because the old one can no longer contain its growth. If it refuses, it will die inside it. This is the same for you. Detachment is shedding your old skin. This also means detaching from the version of yourself that you once loved. The one that was younger, more confident, more social, more hopeful. You are not going backward to become him again. You are moving forward to become something even more aware. Growth is not a return. It is an elevation. So do not say, I want my old life back. Say, I am ready to create a new one. Do not say, I used to be happy. Say, I am learning how to build happiness now. Language matters because it shapes thought, and thought shapes action. You may feel resistance. You may feel sadness. You may feel anger. Let it come. Feel it fully. Do not suppress it, but do not let it build a home inside you. Emotions are visitors. They come to deliver a message, and then they should leave. When you hold them, they begin to control you. Detachment also means forgiving, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was right. It is saying, I refuse to carry this anymore. It is laying down a burden that you no longer need to lift. As you detach from the past, the present becomes clearer. The world seems quieter. Decisions become easier. You are no longer reacting from old wounds. You are responding from awareness. This is where discipline becomes easier too, because you are no longer fighting ghosts. You are standing here, in reality, in control. And in this space, change finally becomes natural, not forced, not desperate, not chaotic, but calm, focused, certain. The future no longer scares you because you are not dragging yesterday into tomorrow. So now, in this moment, take a breath, feel your body, feel where you are, and understand that nothing behind you can touch you unless you turn around and pick it up again.